All right, friends. Let's tap in. Let's tap in. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. How you doing? Ooh, I was just so ready to tap in. Let me grab this book too, because let me tell you, friends, I was on my walk. You know, it's new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio Stellium. Ooh, we are we are in it, friends. We are in it. And you know what? That's okay. It really, really is. Let me pull up today's chart. I hope you guys are doing all right. But when I was out there walking, sorry, I'm just in the background trying to load this chart. Mercury retrograde. You know the week I've been having. Woo! Thank goodness. I think the last of it's today. Yay! The test was, how flexible can you be? How flexible can you be? You're really feeling all the things. How flexible can you be? Oh man, I'm telling you what, Mercury retrograde in Sag. Well, Mercury is now, of course, right on time. Mercury is very supportive. Everyone, we're grouped around the moon. And we're being supportive of the moon. Mercury is in conjunction. Mercury is about to do Cazimi with the sun. Ooh, there's so much going on. Let me print this chart out. But yes, when I was, how do we normally do it? It's just been such a crazy week, you guys. Love and light. You feel me? I was like, I'm on that thing again where it's like, let me hit record. Spirit and the goddesses and my ancestors, the energy was like, let's hit it. Let's get it. So we're going to print on the fly. And because, some other side quest going to pop in. Now, I really feel, I do feel that it's this energy of like, we're going to line it on out. You know what I mean? We're going to sit on down. It's something almost wants to be like I've picked a side, but I don't want to say that and then people run in the wrong direction with the meaning of that. But you got to take stuff as you will, regardless. How do we say, Spirit, yes, thank you so much. That Spirit is always an ever-present guide, helping us bring through messages that are for the highest and best good always and serve the collective. Okay. Yes, let's print it. I'm sorry. You see how I get. Mercury eyeballing me, listening to me was like, well, don't play with me. I'm a Scorpio. I'll shut your shit all the way down. And Mercury will. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think we are printing. So yeah, I was just immediately led by Spirit. I was out doing my walk, Spirit is saying a better way to say that, pick a side. No, that's not the energy. When we tap in together, y'all, I get my coffee and then Spirit's like, and watch out, because Septarian Nodule wants to be center stage. Septarian Nodule, my Icelandic, super dark, smoky quartz. Woo! The stone said, come on. We'll go deep in the thick, in the deep, deep thick. We will sit with Tiamat in the deep waters. We're ready. Are you ready? The owl looking at us like, but are you ready? Okay. Y'all know when we tap in, there she is. I need to get back to getting into my software where I can rotate these charts. Because it's very interesting if you look at it aspected from Uranus. And, yeah, you guessed it. Is it another planetary lineup? Ding, ding, ding. Are we in a stellium? Yes, we are. We're in the thick of it. Do, 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 do. Okay. That's how you got to be about it too. And I do love though that we still have that playfulness. We still have that good vibrational frequency of Mars and Sag. Oh, you know what? Why is this chart a little bit, hold on. I don't actually like that. I think it's because I don't have my time reset. Sometimes it'll reset the time that it calculates this from. But let me tell you anyway, when I was on the walk, but Spirit keeps pulling me back over here. It's very Uranus and Taurus of this energy. It's not about picking a side. It's about, I have chosen, how do we say, my seat on the ride, my seat on the boat. Shout out, Auntie Cindy. We're going to need a bigger boat. Okay, we were talking about it. I'm thinking of human ship, which makes me think of human design. Maybe that's a message for someone because Spirit is bringing in all this wave spell energy in the messages too. Is this a better chart? The way to go about it best is to understand that you have chosen yourself. Yes, Spirit says, sit there. Yes, this is where I want you to be, Spirit is saying. Because, yeah, this is the chart that I wanted, you guys. I'm going to print this. What it is that not, I've chosen my side because, in fact, unfortunately, the choosing of the sides, Spirit is saying, this is very much Mercury in conjunction with this new moon. Mercury has chosen, much like a Persephone and Hades dynamic, Mercury is able to, light-footed, I'm seeing the fool with the sandals, but he's cloaked. The fool with the sandals, he is cloaked so that he can dive down there with Persephone. And Persephone is yet to understand herself, and such as also this work for Hades. This is how this is coming through. This is very mercurial. Let me go ahead and tell you. It's like Mercury is going to be the bringer of the messages. Okay? Because Mercury is saying it is not so much that you have chosen a side, because in fact it is such that we understand it's not about choosing the sides. Very Pluto and Aquarius, yes. What it is that you have chosen yourself, and that's the good. It's very Justice card. That's the good. That's the fucking bad. That's the fucking ugly, and everything that it is has brought me to now. I have chosen myself. And here we are, you know what I mean? The sun, the moon, Venus, Mercury, 28 degrees. We've got 3 sets of 28s. You know what that is? That's 3 sets of 10, my friend. Do not miss it. So now that we will, I'm going to show you this in the chart. I've got to save it before I can really print it how I want to. Now that it is, we understand what we have chosen, Spirit is saying, yes, we can move forward now, and this is good. I'm seeing people getting on the ride at Space Mountain. No one's really knowing where it is we are going, right? We're on the boat. We're going to need a bigger boat. It's good. You're going to get in. You are going to put your seatbelt on. That's fine. I don't care if it crops those corners. Let's just roll with it. You're going to get in. You're going to put your seatbelt on. And here you are. And there is much a feeling like, I've been waiting for you to really let go of the guardrail. I'm seeing someone releasing their grip. Well, you can't. You're committed to the ride at this point. You're committed to the ride at this point, you see. How are you going to put your seatbelt on? Which is confirmation of your acceptance of everything that has brought you to here. You need to find a comfortable seat in the dark. I'm hearing it like this. Okay, yes, this is much more what I was looking for. Yeah, my degrees were a little off. That's my fault because I didn't reset it on the other chart. You see? 10, 10, 10s. God dang. 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. 3 sets. Do you see the conjunction going on here? But I love that for us. Look at Mercury said, I'll go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, technically, Mercury was ahead. Okay, Spirit, what are you trying to say with it here? Mercury was running ahead, but doubled back. Yes, to dive down into the waters with us. Now, this chart doesn't show Black Moon Lilith, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 placements. Which previously, yeah, 5 would be right. But let me go back to what I love, is that Mercury came back to be in the dark waters with us. Mercury is able to move quickly. Do what needs to be done. Get in, get out. Right? In Sagittarius, that's that mutable fire. And what I was saying too, though, is that I love that Mars is ahead of us at the 11th degree. I love y'all. Shit, you can't make it up. I know you see this. You see 10, 10, 10 leading us to 11. Mars wants you to remember, although you do need to find a comfortable seat in the dark, the ride is not going to stop. But the experience of what it is to be on this ride, because the seat that you've now chosen on the descent, okay, and the descent is not outside. That's the gag. The gag wants to pull you outside. The descent is within. Okay, that's why we've been doing this Virgo. What the fuck? It makes so much sense. That's why we had to go into the waters in a gentler way in 2023. You understand? The 7th year of the Chariot. Whether you associate that with Pisces or Cancer, either way, it's absolutely applicable. Then we went through the year of the dragon in the 8 energy, in Leo, in the anima, the animus, the strength, the portals of, remember we kept saying Stargate, Sirius star portals and lion portals, but it was happening all year. This is why, because we needed our lamps to be so fully charged to come and do this hermit work of the Virgo year. Because now, where do we find ourselves? We're going into the deep descent. In fact, we're already in it, Spirit says. So we're on the boat, right? You click the seatbelt. Click the seatbelt. Because I'm going to tell you something. Y'all know you don't get on the subway train. Shout out wherever you are, or even if you're in the New England area, or honey. I don't know if you ever been on the MARTA in Atlanta. Shout out. You better move your hands away from that god dang door. Right? You can't hold it. Now, once you inside, you committed to your seat. You committed to your spot. You in the ride, you on Space Mountain. You might grip a handlebar or something, but you got to be inside. That's that detachment. That's compassionate detachment, trust in the universe. I understand. There ain't no fucking way. We done brought me, spirit, ancestors, multiple generations, decades upon decades. We're talking about triplicity, 369, energy. You could take this all the way out to Pluto trumping the board. I mean, think of the hundreds and hundreds of years, and now here we find ourselves in these waters again. Y'all gonna think we would have set up soul contracts and incarnations and collective experience to bring us all here for nothing? No, I know we wouldn't. I know. I'm gonna tell you on one thing I do know good is myself. I know I wouldn't have signed up to be here and done everything that I've done to get here right now. To know it would have been all for naught. So don't you let them come in trying to snuff your lamp out. Don't do it. Mars and Sag running ahead of the curve. I know one thing. We know that there's fuel in the boat because it continues to move forward. Do you understand? But when everything is in a liquidation state, Uranus and Taurus, yes, Pluto and Aquarius, you understand? All Saturn and Neptune sitting, hanging. It's like, you know how they'll play with you on a ride? I think this whole metaphorical energy of these rides, you know, Space Mountain, the boat, all these things, right, is to understand the simulation, the simulation type nature that you are being awoken into. It's very giving, LOL, you thought Neo was a movie. You get what I'm saying? You thought his experience, you thought the Matrix, hello. Bueller. Initiation into the understandings of life and death and being reborn. What is that? You will always be saved by the renewing of your mind. Y'all know the wise man who taught that lesson. Ooh, this is so big. This is so big. This is a huge crux of a point, you guys, because although we will remain in that 29th degree, a lot of things are depositing. Don't worry about the astrological jargon. Stay with me. A lot of things deposit all the way back to Neptune. And you know how they'll have you on a ride and they'll teeter you at the top. I'm seeing like a log on a river type ride. It's water. Duh, of course it is. Not so much like a roller coaster, but you know how they'll do that with you on the rock with like Six Flags or Disney or whatever. And then you know the dip is coming. You know you're going to go, ah! And then imagine with me that's in the dark. And then, you know when you hit in the water and you go, ah! Makes me think of a water slide. I'm hearing chutes and ladders. Ooh. So let me tell you this. Excuse me. Yeah, I like this one so much better. Because we've got Pluto engaging with Jupiter here. You can see Uranus. Uranus is doing this final opposition with the Sun. They've been in this for like 8 cycles now. We can also be kind of encouraged that Pluto is about to no longer be out of bounds for a good long time. Okay, so see, the dip, it's not going to last forever, but when you have committed into that seatbelt clicking moment of who it is that you've become and the choices that you have made, you are then allowed. I'm seeing a seatbelt as like Uranus and Taurus tethering us in the dark waters. And so you're going to surprise yourself in how grounded you are in some places because you've worked your ass off for that. Ain't nobody like a Taurus about to work for something that they see the long-term vision of, right? But it's going to surprise you. Some things are going to liquidate that you did. Okay, didn't see that coming. But then some things are going to surprise you that will actually ground you into yourself. Okay, and then when you're locked in, the way that this is kind of how I see it. The way that things are going to start liquidating and moving and shifting. Because, you know, the goal is we're going to get up to March and April and we're going to start this big convergence. I really feel that even as we hit into Sagittarius, the energy is going to slowly start tracking faster. But it's really not going to hit pop in a certain way. We are going to finish Uranus and Taurus for sure. But yes, this hanging edge of Neptune at that anuretic final degree. God, you want to talk about wrapping up cycles that are 165 plus years? We could even talk about some places that Saturn is in right now that can take us back hundreds of years, that there's nothing comparable. But I know we've already been talking about that. So when I was outside this morning, it's been a while. The crows haven't really been around. And certain animal spirits, I commune, you know, in nature and the trees and the animal spirits and the Davic nature spirits. You know how we do over here. It's very witchy. It's very earthy and pagan. It's very wheel of the year. So, 3 vultures were on top of the roof. And I was coming back from our walk. And I was like, oh, shoot, the vultures have not been here. And it wasn't 1. I'm telling you, it was 3. Okay, so I felt immediately like, before we start chit-chatting about the aspects here, I want to see, y'all know how we feel about the OG medicine cards over here. Okay, if you want to dip in, Jamie Sams and David Carson. Child, we don't ever even take the cry. I have the cards in a tray over there. We don't even need them. Spirit speaks through these words. And I was like, let me see if there's an entry for, but it may not be. You know, there may not be, because I just don't know if where they are writing from would have had like a vulture spirit. You know, that's much more back then anyway. Everything's very different now, Spirit is saying. Hold on, guys. I'm just looking. Let me see. Because those vultures, man. Were they turkey vultures? And it was 3 of them. Yes. Okay, I thought so. Tolkien. Hold on, guys. This is interesting. Okay, let's read. We're reading from something called wildgratitude.com. Ooh, that's right up my alley. Yes. Wow, this is interesting. This article was written on 2/22/2021. Is that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that's not coincidental. Turkey vulture spirit animal. The turkey vulture spirit animal relates to the raptor's excellent sense of smell. Don't get me started on dragons and winged ones and prehistoric type things. Ooh. And things for another day, right? The Quetzalcoatl and all these things, right? Turkey vulture spirit animal relates to the raptor's excellent sense of smell. She rides spiral thermals of wind and has the miraculous ability to neutralize lethal diseases. Native to the Americas. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Turkey vulture is a new world vulture who is connected with the power of the exorcist archetype. Child, because you can't make it up. I was walking and making notes. This is my normal phone. I was making notes about the new moon in Scorpio. Okay, right? New moon in Scorpio. And I kept getting this message of we drank the poison. We had to drink all the poison. We had to drink all the poison. It was almost like, you know that meme, you guys, that you'll see where the ancestors pulling the person's eyes back and making them see? Because that's the only way alchemy can get done. Uranus and Taurus too. Oppositional with the sun in Scorpio. We gotta look. You have got to look over here, because if you don't look over here, we cannot alchemize the rest of this. The board has to be cleared in order to be reset, so the descent must occur. I was typing a note here about talking about we had to drink all the poison, which makes me think about the other day we kept saying we agreed to all these contracts. It's a very similar frequency, right? And now here we are reading about Turkey Vulture and the Exorcist archetype. Wow. And I was writing, what else did I write? Oh, okay. I was just talking about Pluto coming back into bounds and how this new moon is connected and aspecting all of the 5 planets that are in retrograde. I was also taking notes about the Cazimi. Obviously, Mercury and Scorpio is walking right there with the sun and the moon. And then just, I want to say, like, is it even a full day after Mercury will do the Cazimi on the heart of the sun? And it's so amazing because if you think about that, Mercury was in Sagittarius, right up ahead. And let me run ahead and let me get some things for you guys. Imagine a dutiful little messenger. I'm seeing in Harry Potter the birds that brought the owls that would deliver the letters. Owl makes sense because of Hecate's frequency and how she's been present with us. Journeying with us. And then Mercury came back to go down with us. But Mars is just ever dutiful up there. It's interesting that Mercury went forward and then came back. And then is going to go Cazimi across the sun, which will be getting ready to transition into Sagittarius territory. It's like they're crossing. And it makes me think of a crossroads and how Hecate's energy has been so present with us. I am really surprised, though, that we don't, in the good book here, have a vulture. So anyway, let me go further into this, okay? Turkey vulture's discernment. There's an old wives' tale that if you find a baby bird outside of its nest, you shouldn't handle it. You should put it back in the nest. Supposedly, the mother bird will smell your scent on the chick and reject it. This is a myth. Most birds have barely any sense of smell. Putting a chick back in the nest is the first course of action in helping a baby bird. If the parents are alive and around, they will get right back to caring after their little one. Well, that's good to know, because I didn't know that was a myth. Look at us. I'm learning something today. You know the goddesses will always teach us about the winged ones, okay? Turkey vultures, on the other hand, have an excellent sense of smell. A turkey vulture can smell the scent of dead and rotting flesh from miles away. I can't say for sure that a turkey vulture parent would care or not about human scent on her young. Turkey vultures are notoriously bold, and I wish you could have. I know turkey vultures are a vibe. I come across them a lot, but I'm up in the mountains and on the trails a lot. They do got an attitude. I'm not even gonna lie. If you could have seen the way they were just sitting perched up there this morning, I mean, that's something that'll stop you dead in your tracks. I don't care who you are. That's what we say. Shout out. You know, we down here in the Southeast and the Appalachians. Okay, listen, but the vulture is unique in her ability to pick up scents. In spiritual terms, the sense of smell, you know how I vibe with my aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is one of the first things that woke me back up on my path when I started working with oils and taking classes with oils and aromatherapy. I still to this day remember when I was tinkering and made my first blend. And this was more than a decade ago. Wow, life is crazy. If you could have told me where sniffing these oils would have, wow. And that's some mirror and that's some reflection for you, isn't it? There's no way you could have told me. Imagine you're going to be channeling these blends. Anyway, sense of smell is really strong for me. So I relate to that, right? In spiritual terms, the sense of smell is synonymous with the gift of discernment. Discernment is the ability to sniff out the truth, and it's knowing right from wrong. In a mystical sense, discernment is sitting with guidance to attain understanding. But you got to do what? You have to commit to your embodiment, make the choice to buckle in, because Spirit is kind of showing me how, first of all, you can't sit down and commit to receiving any type of guidance if you don't get on the ride. If you don't know who you are, you choose it, you strap into it, and then you are going to be ready to receive guidance. Remember, I keep saying this Space Mountain ride is in you, friend. It is in you. But let me tell you something that's wild about the nature of our quantum reality. Hold tight. You know, it's Scorpio Stellium territory over here. The nature is that such... Of all of this water, I encourage you to listen to Molly McCord. She had a great, I think it was her podcast this week. Also her new moon. She talks about the water and Lemuria and just the place that we are in right now, deep in the darkness of the womb of the mothers, and all of the archetypes of the divine feminine frequencies of water. All of them on the board right now. Big time. To try and articulate to you how deeply we are going through a reset in the collective consciousness right now, and spirituality and our gifts and intuition and our ancestors. What I'm saying is taking this work within in the true hermit way. Every cell, even the plasma in your blood, there's so much, 50 to 70% of all that you are is water holding a frequential charge. Yes, there's other things going on, but this is a huge part. When you really, ironically, I'm going to say, let that soak in. Okay, so when you are doing this work within yourself, I cannot express to you enough how important, and if you can't understand it scientifically, I know it's pretty crazy, you trust in that this is everything. The waters in your body are connected to all waters on Mother Gaia, you know, in the organic, beautiful, harmonic, in ascension, the 5D grids of the earth, the water, the stones that sank at a different Lemurian time in the bottom of the ocean. I'm being shown all of these frequencies. I'm hearing like a woo, 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 like a low hum All of that is in you. You're not separate from that. Right? The expanded abundance of Jupiter and Cancer, all these different things we could connect to different placements right now. So understand the level of things that are guiding us right now. Like, how would you not trust? How would you not trust? And in fact, when you reframe your perspective and you're really buckled in, you're really snapped in, you're really committed to this embodiment in which you are in right now, and you're trusting it. You're really trusting it. You know what I'm saying? If you're sitting in that level of guidance and discernment, it says to discern something is to look into it and truly know the nature of it. You would know that anything karmic will be brought to heal. You would know that anything that would come against you when you are attempting as best you can to work in the highest and best good of all, what you need to see would be exposed. And then sometimes we also trust in faith and understand that some things, they're going through their own path. And it's not for you to know, but that doesn't mean that it's not all being brought to heal. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. The water molecules, the particles, all the way down to the micro, all the way down to the blood inside. Like, I'm seeing like this reduction picture. Like, have you ever seen those? And it's like from the cosmos to the earth, to your neighborhood, choo, 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 choo. The macro going all the way down to the micro through your body, all the way into the blood, the plasma in your bone marrow. You know, I'm talking about stem cell level here. There's water that makes up plasma that is of your bone and blood. Okay, that's how deep this is going. I'm hearing that no one's really knowing where it is we were going. And we're seeing that spin. What did we say? Willy Wonka? Yeah. But they know. I kind of hear it like this. The spiral of air and turkey vulture spirit animal. Turkey vulture spirit animal, with her ability to smell the wind, helps you sort through your thoughts. Air is symbolic of the mind. Your thoughts can be confusing whirlwinds at times. It can be hard to tell if your mind is making something up or if it is true intuition. Turkey vulture rides the currents of the mind and helps you connect to the ground of knowing. Wow, so appropriate. Summer is the season of the turkey vulture. She rides with wings extended into a V shape on the thermals of hot air. Hot air rises off the sun-soaked earth in a spiral pattern. The turkey vulture is an expert at catching a ride on this invisible elevator. Okay, remember just with yesterday, whatever day it was, I was saying I was seeing, you know, when he shoots up at the end of the story, Willy Wonka or whoever, and they go up through the elevator into the sky. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's crazy. Sorry, turkey vulture is an expert at catching a ride in this invisible elevator. She circles upwards, teetering and relaxed. She barely flaps her wings, but she stays aloft for hours. This makes me think of how I always teach people in one-on-one work that scorpionic frequencies rise through tears. And the scorpion who stings and protects and works out of fear and shame and unhealthy control dynamics, poison, hello. I kept hearing, and I wrote on that notepad, right, we had to drink all this poison. Okay, but then you move up through the frequencies, and then eventually you end up at the most highest exalted vibrational frequency of scorpionic energy, which is the eagle. Actually, you know what? Maybe Spirit brought me to that book for the eagle. Okay, we'll see. Where were we? She circles upwards, teetering and relaxed. She rarely flaps her wings, but stays aloft for hours. Her migration between North and South America are spent casually riding these breezes. That's trust. That's faith, right? The symbolism of turkey vulture reminds you to ride the currents. Hey, listen, pick a current, any current. Pick a trine, any trine, right? And listen, try on that note, because there's so much engaging with this moon, right? Sorry, the animals, they don't like when I tousle them, right? There's so much engaging. Boom, 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 right? And if you look, if you turn it like this, it's very much like Uranus. At that, again, another anuretic degree. Y'all, damn, y'all. Uranus and Taurus sitting there talking about you going to ground in, you going to lock in, you going to ground in. Because look, we're dropped down here. This is where we're buckled in at. You see that? What's engaging the sun up here? Uranus and Taurus. Remember I told you, you can put a pin note in that and come back and read about what the sun in opposition to Uranus has been doing over like 8 cycles. It's very fascinating to read about. There may be messages for you there. Jupiter over here in Cancer, retrograding, talking about that's our meemaw at the table, pouring us sweet tea or pouring us whiskey with our coffee. I don't know. Damn, pick a day, right? Talking about, honey, it's okay. We gonna get through it. You got all this kind of wisdom in your heart space. Don't keep it locked up. It's going to serve you well right now, right? Uranus just eyeballing us, talking about, look at all the expected ways that you're blessed. Look at all the unexpected ways that you can choose to ground in and lock in right now into this true embodiment, because dissolution is going on over here like a motherfucker, like, woo, goodness. And then here we are down here. You see us in our 28, 28, 28. Mars pulling the line forward, talking about, come on, what is that? There's a reel. And anytime I see it, it always gets me emotional because it makes me think of how my grandpa used to talk to me, He was also an Aquarius. You know how rare it is? Aquarius is one of the rarest to be born because of like the limited days and the way that our calendar is set up now in February. Like, what are the odds that my grandpa, my biggest, strongest ancestor, the one who fought for me to not be put up for adoption? I know, crazy story, right? Jokes on them. I didn't get aborted and I didn't get adopted. What are the odds? The universe is wild, man. But listen, this is us. We're sitting here, right? Mercury said, I'm not going to leave you behind. I already went up to Sag, okay? Mars is pulling this train forward. Okay, you're okay. You got on the platform. You found your 9 3/4. We're in there. We're sitting in the middle of the void portal. It's going to get dark, and we're locked in. You know what I mean? And then we're going to have the Kazemi moment. The sun's going to go over into Sag. It's going to be good, but woo-wee. I know y'all better have them. Hey, what did we keep talking about through Samhain? We kept talking about lanterns. And then we were talking about jack-o'-lanterns. I'm telling you, you guys. Goodness. Do you see it? You know what this also gives me too? We are going to read the rest of this Vulture. It's a really long page, but I want to read the last of this little chunk right here. It's also giving, the Earth, Taurus, right? Uranus and Taurus. You might surprise yourself that, you know how I always say, and I can't help it, you guys, it's my North Node in Taurus, okay? You return to the Earth, okay? There's so much that we don't understand about what this Earth School dimensionality, what, Big Mama Turtle, Gaia, the 5D organic frequency of the Earth, and the void portals and what the water did. There's so much going on, child. I'm going to tell you what, they got another motherfucking thing coming. To think they got one up on her. They don't. This is the 5D organic, like true nature grid, true nature, organic, harmonic matrix, right? Because the inverted, ugly, black Saturnian one is dying. It is teetering up there at the tip of that fountain. It's going to fall. The Earth is encouraging us to return to her because she will always replenish and renew in unexpected ways. I'm not saying it's always going to be comfortable because, look, she's alive too. Sometimes I really feel that we get ourselves fucked up because we think that it's the nature of the way that humans have evolved to survive, and I get that, right? But it's not only about us as a species. There's plant life. There's everything is living, and everything has that frequency in the quantum realm as well. All of the tiny things, all of the organic things that are alive, the water, the same water, mind you, that is so like, do you ever contemplate, hello, All this water we got on the board, you ever think the earth is more water than it is anything? And we're more water than we are anything. So we are connected to that. Do not be mistaken, right? But this is giving like, do you need somewhere to turn right now? Go back to the earth. And we all do that in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take that for yourself. Let me go back to reading. The symbolism of the turkey vulture reminds you to ride the currents of warmth in your own life, right? Mars and Sag pulling us forward while we're dealing with all this in this new moon. But it's so powerful. It's so powerful. This lunar cycle is so huge to take us into the winter, to take us closer and closer as we get to Imbolc, and then as we get to March and April, and it's just going to be moving faster. So now is the time to lock in. Now is the time to really evaluate. My life has a beautiful potential to rebirth in a way that I've never even thought was possible. But it comes down to the question of saying, have I faced this? Damn. It's about those mirrors. I'm starting with a man in I'm asking the No message could have been any clearer, I'm telling you. If you want to make the world a better place, you already know. Listen. Here's the thing too, though, is when exposures happen, when truths come out, you have to also understand that when you snap in the seatbelt too, you saying, this is either coming with me or it fucking ain't. And then you still got to be able to go forward so you don't miss your train. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that brings us back to the reflection on what does detachment mean to me right now, right? The currents will carry you where you need to go, says Wild Gratitude, okay? Exercise a little patience and relax a bit. I'm hearing, what am I hearing? Dun, 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 dun. Put a little love in your heart, yeah. And the world will be a better place. Okay, Spirit says we're going to read this part too. Another man's treasure. You know what they say about one man's junk is another man's treasure. As a scavenger, turkey vulture spirit animal is able to sniff out the nourishing gifts laid out like a banquet. Friend, where? By looking in the unexpected places where people forget that there is always abundance. That's Uranus and Taurus, man. I'm telling you. You see how much it is lending into this pocket that we're sitting in? Do you see that? Yeah. Ooh, y'all. I haven't even pulled my new moon. Ooh, I have not even pulled my new moon spread for myself yet. We think of carcasses as waste left to rot, but turkey spirit animal turns the tragedy, y'all, it's so on point, turns the tragedy of life lost into a miracle of flight. That's so beautiful. She lets nothing on the carcass go to waste, and no matter how old the flesh is, she will eat it. She will not turn her nose away from any meal presented. That gives very like Seven of Swords and being resourceful, right? It gives very, what did we pull the other day? Was it the King of Pentacles, I think? And we were talking about how he's patient. He understands the cycles. Yes, I think it was King of Pentacles. Turkey vulture spirit animal reminds you of your own ability to reuse and recycle. She has a kinship with the dumpster diver who resurrects old clothes, the artist who repurposes bottle caps for mosaics. We used to, when we did free forest school with the little kids, we used to teach them about making art with things in nature, and it was always fun. We did this whole kick one time where my friend who's an art teacher would come out with them, and she would just show them different things you can recycle and make art. I think some of our favorites were like, old egg cartons. Well, I mean, of course, boxes. Oh my goodness. We would actually spend time prepping for art days at Free Forest School, and we would cut parts of boxes. So we'd give it to the kids and just yarn. And it was such a fascinating experience. I'm telling you, I never saw not one beautiful child spirit. We love to see all these souls that are reincarnating at this time. The frequency is so different. Not one little children. You would hand some of those recycling tools. They would never complain. They would just boop, boop, boop. They would go to creating. And I love that. We speak of scavengers like they are the lowest of the low, but it is scavengers like the turkey vulture that stem the blight of excess consumerism. Humanity and the planet benefit from practicing scavenging energy more often. The vultures are circling. The vultures are circling is a figure of speech that indicates these people are hovering, waiting to pounce. I'm sorry, that indicates there are people hovering, waiting to pounce and take advantage of a dire situation. We don't talk about that energy. Y'all already know we've been talking about it. It's giving gnashing of teeth. If you know, you know. What you mean to tell me y'all about to expose me? Hell yeah, Pluto and Aquarius. And about to come out of being sat out of bounds. Ooh-wee. When someone is called a vulture, they are considered a greedy person that exploits others in a crisis. Y'all, we don't need to talk about that symbolism. To put it bluntly, vultures get a bad rap that's not deserved. Vultures are common birds of the battlefield and are associated with Ares, the Greek god of war. Whoop! Not Ares. Okay, as Jessica Dawn puts it in her book, Animal Wisdom, the bird's function was to pick up the pieces of the aftermath of battle. By extrapolation, then, vulture can be raised after the struggles are over to help clean up the mess. The turkey vulture has an important role in cleaning up ecosystems. Turkey vulture is a scavenger that can eat carcasses of animals that are infected with botulism, anthrax, salmonella, cholera, etc. Her stomach acids are so strong it kills the bacteria and transmutes the toxin she ingests. Y'all, you can't make it up. You cannot. And let me tell you too, if you have been doing your poisonous toxins work, this takes me back to 2021 when I took a very unexpected teacher. And this is how I got this tattoo with Lilith. And me and Lilith partnered with some lessons that involved invoking a poison to build immunity. And I know that the wildness of that symbology is not lost on us. And so now to think of where I have found myself now in 2025, friend, he, she, them, they, girl, child, it's not lost on me. Now I'm looking over here at my dream catcher, which was gifted to me on a birthday, and it has crow feathers on it. I think one of them actually is a vulture feather too, hanging on the end, that real big one. Dang. Steady in the background is, and the world will be a better place for you. What is it? Just wait and see. Okay. That is crazy. Turkey vulture effectively eliminates bacteria and toxins from the environment. This ties her closely to the exorcist archetype. Oh, what were we saying? Mercury diving down was like the fool with the feathers on his feet, but he put on a cloak so he could go down with us. Y'all, it is giving vulture. But eagle in disguise. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a very interesting way that you can become to trust this cloak of all these scorpionic frequencies right now. And it's giving this very like a snake in the garden that no one knew was a snake. And not us saying snake in the year of the wood snake. But it's such that you did this poison work so that you could sit in the midst of the darkness. And what happens is you draw things out of the swamp, and it's very lion and the lamb is giving. Very lion laid down with the lamb. But the lion was a wolf in sheep's clothing. And the lamb was actually the lion. Do you get what I'm saying? We're going to exorcise that wolf right up out the sheep's clothing today, right? Oh, you thought you was feeding me poison, but you didn't know that I already did this work. It has no power here. You get what I'm saying? There's no power for that here. That's what Black Moon Lilith says, right? In Scorpio. Oh, you thought you were the dragon. Well, you're sorely mistaken. Okay, because now we're going to expose that you were the weakness the whole time, but you have to draw things out. Do you understand? Nature's exorcist, the turkey vulture spirit animal. Demons are described as causing a disease or even seen as the illness themselves. Here we have a bird that is known for literally killing off extremely deadly diseases. But there's something here about you have to dance with the death. It's a dance. You've got to, people say dance with your demons, because how else are they going to come out? And then, when they do come out, woe unto them. You know what I'm saying? Turkey vulture spirit animal most definitely is an exorcist. The demons she neutralizes aren't visible to the human eye, but they are extremely lethal. The scientific name of the turkey vulture is Cathartis aura. Whoa. This can be translated as golden purifier or cleansing breeze. Both names are appropriate honorifics for the service the turkey vulture provides. Another synchronicity between the turkey vulture and the exorcist archetype is that the turkey vulture uses light to cleanse. You can find the turkey vulture perched, her back saluting the sun, wings held outstretched. She bathes in the ultraviolet cleansing rays of the sun to bake off the harmful bacteria. That gives to me, like, don't worry. This new lunar cycle with this new moon in Scorpio is so big, it's so important, it's so powerful. And then when we come back out in the spring, when the wheel rebirths herself, the true new year and Aries season, ooh, child, the way the sun is going to hit, I'm trying to tell you. Goodness. Turkey vulture's black shiny feathers increase the efficiency of this process. Do you understand why? Because the black is drawing in all the spectrum of the light. Do you see? Don't miss this. Okay? The acidity of the turkey vulture's urine has the power to kill bacteria. She releases this onto her own legs to clear the dangerous microbes she picks up when walking through the carcass. Okay, sounds gross, I know, she says, but we are talking about decontamination, and that is very efficient. For me, that gives a metaphor of like releasing the literal shit you've had to walk through, right? And cleansing, spiritual hygiene, that's what it gives. Whenever you're in need of a cleanup crew to decontaminate your own energy field, the turkey vulture spirit will appear. Oh, y'all, I'm sorry. Because I didn't have any plans for this. But that's how the universe works. That I saw those 3, not 1, but 3 turkey vultures on the roof. She naturally has the ability to transmute the harmful emotions and thoughts that can infect your system. She can clear out the refuse and neutralize negativity, leaving a cleansing breeze in her wake. Woo! Y'all! I'm sorry. Because this new moon in Scorpio is all about descent. It's about clearing this stuff out, but it's in your psyche. And so that, this time we do all this cleansing and we just do these new cycle resets, and I love that. It is great. But this is like, no, for real. When we reset next year, you got to clear it all the way out. But in order to face a lot of things on many different levels, you got to get comfortable in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Buckle in that seatbelt, because talking about a transformation of a Space Mountain ride, shout out again to Miss Cindy. We're going to need a bigger boat. I feel like that's a different level of awareness. Okay. The boat, right? Obvious themes would be like endings and beginnings with a new moon, even as you view that or partner with that as a dark moon. Obviously, it goes without saying, you guys doing any work that's banishing, doing any work that's cleansing, setting beautiful new intentions. Still definitely in the thick of the void portals, right? New beginnings are never possible if you don't end a bunch of shit first, and that's just how it is. And this is the ending of all the big endings. Again, please understand there's nothing comparable hundreds of years back and hundreds of years forward to this right now. Okay? This is a time like you'll never see again in your life to grow past like your own limitations, But it's beautiful. It's beautiful honoring your soul and saying, I want to set you free. I want to go into the spring prepared to receive all of this amazing transformation Uranus and Gemini is going to give us, that all of this Aries frequency is going to give us, the year of 10, which is actually the year of 1, is going to give us. I want to get all of that my soul, it's kind of like your soul gets to be starting with a clean slate. It really is. Don't miss that. And then, of course, just to hit on it really quick, the opposition of Uranus to the sun and the new moon together in Scorpio, that's so huge. It's a big break-free point. Maybe you're manifesting a whole new career, living in a whole new place, a brand new relationship with yourself first, hopefully. Always with yourself first. And then maybe with another person, or renewal in a long-term thing that's being reborn. I do need you to hold tight, though, because change that you do not expect is going to be the name of the game. But remember, Sag, where Mercury has dipped down back with us, but we'll go forward. Mars will continue to pull us forward. The fire in the engine, if you will, right? Divine masculine frequency to say, I am inspired and therefore I will go forth. Okay. You got is this radical transformation, as within, so without. Okay. Yeah, so that hits the big 28, 28, 28. That's our 10, 10, 10 lineup right there. I mean, of course, Venus and Scorpio is in here with us too, and you got to look at what you value. You just do. I mean, that's who people you are connected to, how you spend your money, what does abundance mean to you, what kind of tangible earth experience are you going forward into 2026 with. It's like core value realignment, right? And then, of course, you got to mention that Mars is in a square with the lunar nodes. You do. So just understand that karmic cycles, I mean, unless you dog-headedly, stubbornly white-knuckle them, and I hope you don't, because I'm going to tell you, love and light, you're going to sink real deep. It's going to be a longer journey up, a longer journey up. But if you can let go, your soul almost gets like this whole new assignment. You get what I'm saying? North Node in Pisces. Okay, but surrendering the need for control, I mean, it can't be stated enough. It just can't. And you can even look at South Node in Virgo karma for that, right? Woo, child, we didn't even pull no cards yet. Okay, goodness gracious. This is the nature of when we sit in the water and we channel through these portals. And I just feel like, y'all... This Septarian dragon egg, she just, cooking the whole time. This one is rare. Shout out to my beautiful sister Leslie. This one is rare too because it has these quartz pieces in it. Oh, she been giving. She has been giving. It's going to be a little bit longer. It is what it is, because now Spirit is saying we came to the book. Did we? Child, it's a whole nother page up here. What am I doing? Okay, we came to the book. We are going to read about the eagle, which is what I know you see it. It is number 1, much like next year will be for us as well as we reset past these void portals. Number 1, the higher tiered frequential energy of the scorpionic archetype is the eagle. So we have learned from the vulture, and now we will learn from the eagle in this new moon in Scorpio, okay? Hold on, we're going to get there. Eagle, fly high, touch great spirit, share your medicine, touch me, honor me, so that I may know you too. Eagle medicine is the power of great spirit, the connection to the divine. It is the ability to live in the realm of spirit and yet remain connected and balanced within the realm of earth. Eagle soars and is quick to observe expansiveness within the overall pattern of life. From the heights of the clouds, eagle is close to the heavens where great spirit dwells. The feathers of eagle are considered to be the most sacred of healing tools. They have been used for centuries by shamans to cleanse the auras of patients coming to them for healing. I have yet to have an eagle feather. I have hawk feathers, crow feathers, vultures and all kind of winged ones. Maybe Spirit will bring me one day. Within the belief systems of Native American tribes, eagle represents a state of grace achieved through hard work, understanding, and completion of test of initiation. Yeah, I know you better get in here. Completion of the test of initiation, which results in the taking of one's personal power. It is only through the trial of experiencing the lows, the lower vibrational frequency of the scorpionic archetype, right? The lows in life as well as the highs. And through the trial of trusting one's connection to Great Spirit, that the right to use the essence of eagle medicine is earned. If you have pulled this symbol, eagle is reminding you to take heart and gather your courage, for the universe is presenting you with an opportunity to soar above the mundane levels of your life. The power of recognizing this opportunity may come in the form of a spiritual test. And being astute, you may recognize the places within your soul, personality, emotions, or psyche that need bolstering or refinement. By looking at the overall tapestry, eagle teaches you to broaden your sense of self beyond the horizon of what is presently visible. Child, if that don't say sit down in the dark, child, I don't know what does, right? In learning to fiercely attack your personal fear of the unknown, the wings of your soul will be supported by the ever-present breezes, which are the breath of Great Spirit. Feed your body, but more importantly, feed your soul. Within the realm of Mother Earth and Father Sky, the dance that leads to flight involves the conquering of fear and the willingness to join in the adventure that you are co-creating with the divine. I'm hearing, what is it? No wizard that there ever was. What is it? Is or ever was? What is that part? I hope you're happy. Look at her. She's wicked. You know, where she's bursting up in the sign and she has her whole line, bring me down. Okay, that's what it's giving here. Whew. If eagle has majestically soared to you today, you are being put on notice to reconnect with the element of air. Air is of the mental plane, and in this instance, it is of the higher mind. Wisdom comes in many strange and curious forms and is always related to the creative force of Great Spirit. If you've been walking in the shadows of former realities, the eagle will bring illumination. Eagle Spirit teaches you to look higher and touch Grandfather Sun with your heart. Hello, Sun and Scorpio opposing Uranus and Taurus, right? Whoa. To love the shadow as well as the light. See the beauty in both and you will take flight like the eagle. Eagle medicine. Y'all, what is that? Fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle. Let my spirit carry me. I'm gonna fly. See the beauty in both and you will take flight like the eagle. Eagle medicine is the gift we give ourselves to remind us of the freedom of the skies. Eagle asks you to give yourself permission to legalize freedom and follow the joy your heart desires. Woo! Y'all, I mean, I think that's the message, you know? That is the message. You know what? What did I do with it? I am going to pull us an oracle card to close us out for this powerful new moon frequency. I'm going to pull from the Dream Song Oracle. Okay. And then I'm going to get into these intuitive astrology reads for people's Black Moon Lilith placements. Fly right into the future. Okay, this one's sticking out. Y'all, because Spirit always comes through, I'm telling you. It never gets old for me, you guys. Look at this. Tell a new story. Y'all see that? Y'all see that 22? I know you see it. Tell a new story. Do you see she is a bird? Do you see that? Look at her. Look at her. She's looking. Bring me down. She's flying. I'm sorry. Oh, this energy. All right, 22. Let me ground it out, y'all, because whew, tell a new story. You cannot fucking make this shit up, y'all. You are made of wings and wonder, starlight and stories. I'm hearing when you wish upon a star, makes no difference where you are. Dun, 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 dun. Something about the winter solstice. Maybe that's a timing confirmation for someone. This also makes me think about how we kept turning the chart around to Uranus, because Uranus is right up there with Pleiades. Okay? Oh, when you wish upon a star. Telling yourself a story of empowerment will bring a surge of energy. Notice how your shoulders drop, your breath deepens. Your heart warms. This is because the truest, deepest part of you understands your worth. Telling yourself a story of scarcity or disempowerment leaves you tight, small, and cramped. I'm hearing blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. I'm also getting from her picture. Do you remember the old scary story where she had a ribbon around her neck? If you was a 90s kid, you know what's up. And oh no, don't take off the ribbon. It also makes me think of the Uranus and what is it, Al Ghul. And I'm hearing like the Queen of Hearts, off with his head. Off with your head. It's off with your head. What is that from? The Queen of Hearts? Was it Alice? Anyway, there's something here like, don't lose your head. I don't know, something like this. I can also be shadow Neptunian Piscean territory where you just spin all the way off the deep end and you're like, well, I'm down here in the bottom of the depths. There's no coming out. But you don't want to tell yourself a narrative like that. You'll lose your head. You know what I'm saying? Telling yourself a story of scarcity or disempowerment leaves you tight, small, and cramped. That tale goes against your expansive nature, North Node in Pisces, and oh, how expansive it is, my friend. Okay? While we are very selective about the books we read and the stories we watch on film, we are far less selective about the stories we tell ourselves. Ooh. Ooh. Right? Are they helpful or hurtful? Take careful inventory of the stories you tell yourself right now. Your life is listening and will respond to your narrative. Okay? All right, guys, that's the message that I have for us in this powerful energy of new moon in Scorpio. Take good care out there. Be grounded. Be about your spiritual hygiene and your rituals. And be encouraged. Buckle in, lock in, okay? The light comes from within you. All right, I love you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day and week. I look forward to connecting to you soon, okay? Bye.